Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rumors of Heresy. My name is Zareth, and today we're going to continue my battle report for, my tournament report for the Denver Fight Club October Open. Took Forgefather's Seekers to it, and this is part 2. And I'm linking in the video description the part 1, and then eventually there will be a part 3 that I'll also link in the video description if you're interested in. Let's take a look at my list, and then we'll jump into the actual reports for games 3 and 4. And here we are. Here's the list. We've got a minimum of characters: Adrax and Vulkan, of course, with the Combi Lieutenant, and then the company heroes go with Vulkan, Blade Guard go with Adrax in a Land Raider. Then I have 2 squads of Infernus Marines. Of course, they get the boost from the Forgefather Seekers detachment and from having Vulkan in the army. And then we also have some Intercessors to make that objective sticky, Incursors as good skirmishing units, Scouts as also good skirmishing units, a couple of units of Eradicators. One of them is usually in reserve. The other one is usually in the party wagon with with Adrax and Blade Guard. Party wagon being a Land Raider Redeemer. And then we have 2 Predator Destructors, Storm Speeder Hammer Strike, which is the one that stops people from getting cover. It denies cover after you hit them. And then a couple of Impulsors usually have some Infernus in one of them, and the company heroes and Vulkan in the other one, because they can actually go into that into an Impulsor now because the fixes they made for Vulkan. So I did well with this list at a previous GT. I won't give you guys spoilers. If you want to go watch the report about that, you can go check it out. So I used this list, but it was as Firestorm back then. Now we're using Forgefather Seekers because we can use them with the +1 to wound thing that we get with Oath of Moment. And otherwise, they initially didn't let us do that because of an FAQ issue that GW had, and pretty frustrating. The only other change that I made from that previous list was the Combi Lieutenant has the Adamantine Mantle. If you want to know all the nuts and bolts of how my list is put together, you can find it in the video description in its entirety, so go check that out. And by the way, go, if you wouldn't mind, guys, it would mean a lot to me. Yeah, leave a thumbs up on this video, comment, subscribe. Let's mount the algorithm, as we say on my other YouTube channel. But it would mean a lot to me. Thank you. Also, I have an Instagram that I apparently don't update that much, but come follow me on that one as well. That's also linked, and it's a good time. We're all having a great time. Let's change where my face is. Hold on. So this is the army. This is what it looked like. This is actually what it looked like when I took it to that previous GT in Cheyenne. Firestorm's really tough to use well, especially when compared to like Gladius. Gladius is just so easy to use well. Though there are some nice things about Firestorm or, Forgefather Seekers, which are pretty dang similar. The +1 strength within 12 inches is really nice. Being able to advance and shoot is really nice. Not being able to fall back and shoot like you can in Gladius is kind of sad, but you can kind of get around some of those things as long as you're pretty cagey about how you play. So the tournament itself has about 60 players in it, and it was the same weekend as Las Vegas Open, so a lot of our guys, typically this tournament would be somewhere around, I think, 100 people, but because the LVO is here and a lot of our guys have gone off to do that, have wandered off, we only have about 60 people. So anyways, let's just jump into our first fight, and then I think it'll probably just transition immediately to the Zegan fight, and then we'll do a small outro and call it a day, shall we? Enjoy. Game 3 was a really cool one. Playing against my friend Joel Stoddard. I went to LVO with him earlier in this year. We went and got an Airbnb there, and it was a really fun trip. Really good dude. and we hadn't had the chance to play for several months. In fact, we hadn't even talked for a while because I don't still play at the same place. My schedule is just different, so I can't play against him. But really nice guy. He's been playing Dark Angels since I met him. Apparently, he's gonna start playing Voten soon. But Dark Angels is his thing, and so we've got the we've got the kill more, hold more. It's called Purge the Foe, I guess. So I'm going second, which is nice. That's really good. He's got a couple of squads of Deathwing Knights. One of them's in Deep Strike. One of them's right here. He's got Ezreal with some Stern Guard, I believe, right here. He's got it's a Combi Lieutenant or something here. There's a Lancer here, a Vindicator here. So just two different anti-tank, anti-heavy stuff tanks here, but they are different from each other. He's got the Lion, which apparently got a huge boost kind of recently, and let's see, he's playing Gladius as the detachment, of course. So he's got the captain, the Gravis captain that is impossible to kill, and let's see, I think some like incursors are in here, I believe. Just it's a pretty well-rounded list, and of course the Lion can just uppy downy all the time apparently and just really mess with you. And so my approach to this, so the thing I like about this mission is you really don't have to worry that much about who holds more objectives. You need to make sure your opponent doesn't get hold more, but it's fairly easy to make sure that doesn't happen, except for if you get second turn. And I did get second turn, which is really nice, because then you also have the information to you can know for sure, like, okay, my opponent got 3 kills, I have to get 3 kills here so that he doesn't get 3 points. So we've got the hammer, or he's got his weird Dark Angel cover granting speeder here, which was kind of weird. Otherwise, I think it's the diagonal deployment here. So yeah, my guys are in a slightly awkward situation here, but yeah, we got the Combi Lieutenant here, and then I put the Scouts over here. This is something I keep wanting to try, because I want the Scouts to be uppy downy, is the thing I want to start doing in this list. Because even though they skirmish decently in the middle, the Combi Lieutenant, especially when he's got the Adamantine Mantle or whatever, he can survive a little bit, and then he can fall back, maybe get in the Land Raider if he needs to, and then the Scouts can uppy downy, and they can eventually come in the back zone and force my opponent to continue this all spread out and covering every section, or otherwise I might be able to get into the back zones. And so we don't have to worry too much about objectives, and really the thing, I just didn't realize how much better the Lion is. He's got that 3-up invuln save and a 4-up invulnerable save against, or a 4-up feel no pain against mortals. And so anyways, he barely does anything. Like, he gets on to this objective, and I'm not really in the range to be able to get onto his objective, and contesting it doesn't do anything anyways, right? So just 1 inch away on the walls here. I think I had a reason to get the Combi Lieutenant onto this objective here, and honestly, I thought that I moved him up a little bit more, which is relevant. Oh yeah, he's got some he's got the, gosh, there's so many IN words in the units in the Space Marines. The guys who deep strike 6 inches. I don't use them, so I always forget what they're called. But anyways, he has those guys. I meant to make it so that they can't deep strike onto this objective and get anything, but apparently I didn't move him up far enough, which is my bad. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't. And then he rapid ingresses his guy. His Lion guy, so that he's going to be able to charge me. I did put Vulkan and company onto this objective, and the Scouts moved back, And so he did put, oh yeah, some outriders that he put onto my objective. I think he got tempting target turn 1, so I chose this objective. Yeah, so we ran the outriders, the bikes, onto here. So I managed to kill them. So I get +1 to kill, but I didn't get any good secondaries my first turn at all. They were horrific. So I managed to kill the bikes. I did get the +4 for primary for getting a kill on turn 1, and otherwise he rapid ingressed the lion right away, and yeah, the lion's just really good now, guys. So the lion here, I apparently skipped a turn taking pictures. The lion comes over and he attacks, he does his big hits, he gets rerolls to hit, rerolls to wound, he gets like 8 of them, and at AP 4 he puts lance on them, or on the lion as well. So the lion is just hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, doing 4 damage each. So his first 4 does 8 wounds, like doesn't fail any of them, which is pretty standard if you're rerolling 2s. And so he killed his first 4, killed the guys in the company heroes, even though they're -1 to wound. And then the next 4, I roll the invulns on Vulkan. He's on his objective, of course, and so he fails 3. I'm like, okay, look, I really need him to live. It would be so amazing if Vulkan would just live here. And so I CP reroll Vulkan's invuln, fail it, and then 12 wounds on Vulkan, feel no pains, and of course the chump rolls like a ton of fails. 4 up, feel no pains. I'm probably gonna die again, like 12 wounds on him, but he just can't roll even like I don't think at any point have I ever rolled average on Vulkan's feel no pains. So he dies like a chump. Really sad, but though I had managed to park my Impulsor in a way that the lion had to also get stuck on the Impulsor, so I could kind of keep him there indefinitely at least. And so the lion's over here, killed Vulkan right away, which was so discouraging. Forget if that was assassination or not. I don't remember if he had that, but anyways, he's mostly just not moved out. I think he managed to land. He needed area denial, and so this is where it becomes relevant. Like my lieutenant here in the middle was not able to stop him from getting a 6-inch deep strike and still getting area denial. It was the very slimmest of margins. The combi lieutenant should have just been a tiny bit farther in. That way they couldn't deep strike in. But instead, so they killed the combi lieutenant, they killed Vulkan, and they killed the company hero. So 3 kills, and oh gosh, what a total disaster here. So Joel also had hit like some incursors that had come up, and of course the 6-inch deep strike guys, the Gravis guys. I just can't remember their name for the life of me, guys. And the lion, I'm like, okay, I gotta get 3 kills, gotta get them. So we're gonna move the land raider up here. We can burninate some of these guys, kill the incursors, and kill the lion. And lion's up here. I get some Infernus Marines here. The scouts are uppy downy, by the way. I get Furnace, I get some Eradicators. The Predator drives over here. The Impulsor is over here as well. Or there's one Impulsor that has to back off, but then there's another Impulsor that gets over here. And so I've got all the stuff. Like he's only 10 wounds. I can kill him, right? Like that's what I think. And then he goes. I do 4 melta wounds to him. He saves all 3 up invulns. I do the Hunter Killer Missile and 2 las cannons, and he saves all of those. And at the end of the day, Infernus Marines are able to do like 5 or 6 wounds. He just failed a few 3-ups, so that was cool, I guess. And he ended up with 2 wounds remaining, and I'm like, gosh, the Land Raider had to move into here so that he could burninate the something, and I managed to kill this. So I managed to kill the Gravis guys, the Incursors, so 2 kills. I really need that 3rd kill. And so finally, with my last CP, I charged the Impulsor, which is over here, charges the Lion, tank shocks him, does 2 wounds to him. He's got a 4-up feel no pain, so I'm like, he's just gonna live. Like, he's gonna live on 1. And he fails both of them, and the Lion dies. Thank God. Got 3 kills there. So we tied on kills. Of course, the next turn, he's able to park his Vindicator here, his Lancer here, and just one-shot. So that just destroys the Land Raider. Really the depressing result. I think I CP rerolled. I usually don't, guys. I try not to. I try not to indulge in the CP rerolls for saves and stuff. But the Land Raider just died, just keeled over and was dead. Very sad. And of course, I've got like Infernus Marines that came from reserves. I have the Eradicators that came from reserves. The Storm Speeder also landed here at some point. Oh yeah, some Deathwing Knights landed somewhere here, and they were able to charge there's some Incursors here. He got like, I think he needed a 10 to charge me. He just spiked it. He didn't even have to reroll it. So he killed the Incursors, which put him over on the Killmore. And so my idea here was, okay, look, I can maybe at least get, as long as I get a kill, then maybe I could just stop him from doing any more kills. And then I realized it just wasn't going to happen. And so the Blade Guard are just huddled here in fear. They're just terrified for their lives. Some Eradicators, I had some reason, I think I had like area denial I had to do, so they have to get on the objective, and it's just kind of a mess, guys. So the Deathwing Knights are over here, and I managed to kill them with some good shooting, and I think I had to charge with the Intercessors. So that worked out, and so we're kind of going back and forth. I think he got one turn where he got Killmore over me. And otherwise I was able to tie that and tie Holdmore as well every turn. And then let's see, this is probably the final picture. Yeah, that's for the next day. But at the end of the day, we were both like really rushing on clock. We really didn't have that much time, but you know, we're both being pretty conscientious of it, like being courteous of each other. Really enjoy my games against Joel because he plays really hard, but he's really fair. He's got his Deathwing Knights that he came in and got onto the objective here, and so I'm able to, over the course of the final turns, just slowly, my secondaries have been just atrocious for a lot of the game too, and then they eventually turned pretty decent. But I'm able to, at the end, I have like 2 minutes left, and I have to contest. So at the end of my turn 4, I have only 2 minutes left, and so I charge with the Impulse, or the whatever they're called, Intercessors. That they managed to charge Deathwing Knights that are in the middle. Managed to charge the Deathwing Knights with Blade Guard and Adrax. There's only a couple of them left because the Vindicator got their shots into them. I killed the Lancer, who was right here, just with the Predator. Was able to get some nice shots there, and so I got like bring it down with that and everything. I think I killed the Vindicator somehow as well, and so I kind of called it back. But I had 2 minutes left at the end, like toward the end of my turn 4, and so I charged the Terminators, and instead of rolling a bunch of dice, I just said, I'm not gonna attack. Because mostly I had gotten the Blade Guard into them, and so I managed to cover all of his models. And so I was like, okay, the Blade Guard might die here. I hope they don't, but they might die. But they're going to take the majority of the hits, and then the Intercessors are the really important ones, and they needed to be on the objective to contest it so that he couldn't hold it, and so only one guy could hit the Intercessors, so I was able to keep the Intercessors alive, and the Blade Guard managed to also survive for most of the game, and I did 0 attacks against the Deathwing Knights. I'm like, I'm not going to do enough damage to them anyways, I may as well just, I'll save. So then on my final turn, I was able to contest the middle objective one last time, and I think I squeaked out a 5-point win. It was very close. No, I think it was actually 11-point win. I think it could have been a little bit closer. He missed a couple things toward the end of the scramble, which we both missed. I would have helped him if I had, like, both of us were like, oh yeah, he could have done that. But, you know, we were both on the clock, and, you know, I really wish Denver Fight Club would do more, would give us more clock. Frankly, like, the round is supposed to be, we're supposed to meet our opponent and play the full game within 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is just really, really challenging to do. Like that, at the extra 20 minutes that most events give you, like they give you a full 3 hours, is just so much nicer. Really, it really is just way better. So you're not just frantically trying to get your models all where they need to be. So it was a really good game. Joel ended up going 4-2 as well. He had a really rough day one because he ended up playing 3 of the best players at the event. Gosh, that sounded cocky of me. But I'm decent at least, right? So he ended up, and he beat one of them, and the other 2 ended up doing really well in the tournament. I won't tell you guys how I did, but one way or another, he ended up going undefeated the day 2 and just destroying his opponents. So anyways, it was a good match. The Lion is really good. I certainly, it caused a huge jam for me because the Lion coming here and killing Vulkan and stuff, I don't think Vulkan typically dies with the number of, like, the kind of dice that I think on average, Vulkan probably lives, which I don't know if that's going to make a huge deal one way or another. But the thing that it really did was all of my, like I had Infernus Marines here, I had Eradicators here, I had 2 Impulsors here, and so at the end of the game, I was actually able to drive some the Infernus up the side of the board because he had just kind of converged into the center, and so the Infernus were able to actually go and, like, I think they just took the home objective and stuff. I don't remember exactly, but I got some points out of that. But throughout most of the game, I had a huge just dog pile of units back here that were worthless. They did nothing, and I couldn't walk out because the Deathwing Knights could just do Assault Doctrine, so advance and charge, so they just get out, advance and charge me, and then get onto this objective, and I wouldn't be able to take him off of it. And so I just kind of stared at him for most of the game with all of these guys just stacked in the back here, and that, I think that was a really good move because the Lion, I don't think he expected the Lion to live, but it did cause this weird dog pile where I just couldn't get out until the end of the game. So once again, really good game by Joel. I never at any point threatened his objective, which is an issue. Actually, I need to have some way to do that, and I just didn't do that. So anyways, it was a good game. Hopefully I play better next time, and you know, one way or another, really pleased that I finally got another game in with Joel. So going into day 2, I'm 2-1, you know, almost certainly not in contention for any prizes, but really want to do well. So let's see how day 2 treats us. Okay, so game 4. It's in the morning. Kind of tired, but I tend to play better on day 2, typically, and especially the first game. That tends to be like the best game I play. So basic Stoic Naj and his Carnival of Excess, I believe. Let me see. I think I have it right here. Yeah, Carnival of Excess. So he's got Lucius the Eternal, Lord Exultant, that's gonna go with 10 Infractors in a Rhino. He's got a Lord Cacophonist with some Noise Marines, a Sorcerer, and then he's got 2 squads of 10 Demonettes. 5 Tormentors, which are these guys right here. They infiltrate. And Sticky. He's got a squad of 6 Noise Marines. That's one with the Lord Cacophonist in a Rhino. They're right here. Another squad of 6 Noise Marines. They're in reserve. And 5 Seekers of Slaanesh. They're Demonette, or they're Demon scouting dudes. So we've got table quarters. We've got this is, what's it called again? The linchpin. And he's got first turn. I really wanted him to go first, which is great. So he's got he's got 2 of these Mauler Fiends. One of them's in reserve. He's got Noise Marines in reserve, and he's got some Demonettes and Deep Striking, and then everything else is on the board. I've got my Speeder in Deep Strike. I've got an Impulsor with Infernus. I've got another Impulsor with Vulkan. I've got some Scouts and a Combi Lieutenant right here. So that's kind of the weird role reversal I've been going for, where the Scouts are eventually going to be swapped out for with Vulkan, and the Scouts are able to then go into Strategic Reserve and get me some objectives toward the mid or end game. Or people can try really hard to get the Scouts, which is actually something that happens here, as you'll see. So the Land Raiders here, of course, just trying to stay out of the way. There's not much shooting that he has, but he's got a lot of charges. And the Fiends are here. The Fiends are here. They're 4 wounds each. They're easy to kill if you can actually shoot them, but they're so fast. This army is crazy fast. And so the goal, of course, here is just don't let him hold the center. Hold my own as much as I can, and then if I can delete his stuff as quickly as possible, then maybe I've got a chance. His threat ranges are crazy, and I really don't want to risk getting jailed. So he's got Noise Marines with Lord Cacophonist in this Rhino, and then the Infractors with his Lord Exultant over here, and he's just loaded up on the line. And I noticed that after the Scouts have been down, and so I scout move the Scouts, like, get the heck out of there, guys. You're going to be attacked by those Seekers for sure. He gets no prisoners and behind enemy lines, decides to keep behind enemy lines just so we can get a CP out of it later. And so he gets his Tormentors run and get into this Rhino, which Turbo's over here. Remember, he's really fast. He's Emperor's Children. And so he's got the Infractor Rhino on the point, on the objective. The Seekers, Scout move 6, or Scout move 9, move 14, charge the Scouts. The Scouts get kind of lucky on their saving rolls, and only 2 of them die. And then they actually kill 2 Seekers back, just because of good rolls. Just kind of random. So he can't get his no priz, so he gets rid of both of them. And yeah, gets a CP, etc. I didn't even use any stratagems. The Scouts are just like, no, we choose life. I was like, oh, I respect that. Thank you for doing that. That's wonderful of you. So anyways, he's got this thing stickied here, and he's in the Rhino. Like, he plays super passive on this side, which I think is actually a fairly wise move, because that makes me have to go out and get him, and there's nothing I can do to even get onto this objective. So I roll extend battle lines, I roll area denial, and so that means the Combi Lieutenant's over here, and Vulkan and company are just gonna roll over here and get onto the point and contest it from this Rhino. We're gonna have to play a little longer game, and unfortunately I'm going to have to give up those 5 points over here. The good news is, of course, I get second turn, so I can get on these objectives at the end of the game if I still have models. So we want to be a little more conservative, just because he's going first. So on my turn, I just need to kill the Seekers and score secondaries if I can, get into an okay position. Don't literally, don't let him do too many crazy things to me. And so the Combi Lieutenant comes up here. He's just barely out, like you can barely see him, I think. Yeah, so he is within 3 inches of the actual center, not just like on the point, but you have to be within 3 inches of the actual center, because that's something people people mess up. And because it's just extend battle lines, I only need to control one. So we go right here. The Impulsor comes up here and half hides. If he wants to get out, he's Noise Marines to shoot me. Then I don't get cover or anything, but I still get my 5-up invuln from the enhancement, but the war gear choice I have. Really, I'm just trying to be a thorn in his side to get some guys out. Like he doesn't have much chance to kill it if he's just shooting from the Rhino. And if the Mauler Fiend wants to come over here and charge him, then the Infernus Marines are going to live, and then they can still burninate whatever he's got in the area. And then the Predator can come out, and we can have the Eradicators come out. We have a Speeder that can come and shoot. But there's a lot of support we can generate over here. He's all staged up though. He's got a squad of fiends here. He's got a squad of fiends here. He's got Lucius somewhere. He's got Demonettes here. All kinds of places. It's an incursion. And so he decides it's his go turn. He gets Assassination. He's like, oh my gosh, I can kill the Combi Lieutenant. That'll be so easy. But he doesn't want me to like run away with my Combi Lieutenant, which my Combi Lieutenant was probably just going to hightail over here so that the Land Raider can maybe protect him and save him or something. And so he decides to circle the fiends, and I'm like, okay, look, my Land Raider can see you if you do that, and I can Overwatch. And he's like, well, I have to circle him so that the Combi Lieutenant can't run away. So he makes this ring around the Combi Lieutenant. Let me see, do I have a? Yeah, we can make a circle here. So yeah, the Combi Lieutenant's here, and the fiends just kind of surround him so that his reactive move doesn't exist, right? And so just to be a smart ass, he didn't have it perfectly ringed out, so I did reactive move him just a tiny bit to be like equidistant between it's like less than an inch by like a couple millimeters probably. So anyways, then he gets his Infractors out, he gets the Fiends out, and this is one of the weaknesses of this list. He can't kill transports, really. And he's got his Sorcerer here, who's just gonna try to shoot the Combi Lieutenant, which I think he did a wound to him, so that was cool. The Infractors charge, and they can't quite kill the Impulsor. I think I used O the Moment or not O the Moment, but Armor of Contempt on him, and so they're only I get to save on 3+s, and the Lord just totally whiffs on him, and so the Fiends are also charging, and they kill it, and because they're surrounding it, that's totally wrapped, I have to do an emergency disembark. Kills 2 of the 3 company heroes squad, but I kept the banner just to keep more OC, and so Vulkan and the banner and the champion are still alive, right here, and they're on the objective. And then actually he didn't consolidate or anything. He gave him the option, and well, the Infractor, yeah, so he didn't get on to the objective, and so I actually scored on this thing on my turn because I have also so much OC on Vulkan on his objective. And so on my turn, like he's got all these fiends. He's got the big squad of Infractors, the Rhino. That doesn't matter as much. The Mauler Fiend comes in and just whiffs, just all of his swings, just like. He's not between. He gets the Noise Marines out because he wants all the shots. Not like Noise Marines only have. It's only firing deck like 2 from a Rhino, and he wants to shoot all of them. So the Noise Marines all get out with the Lord Cacophonist. Somehow, some way, the Rhino lives on 1. And so the Mauler Fiend is like, okay, I'm gonna finish him off. 0 of anything. I think he got 1 hit through, and I rolled my 5-up invuln, and I lived, which was just wild. I was like, wow, Impulsor, I didn't even want you to live. The big thing here though was his fiends moved here, and the Land Raider rolled boxcars on the Overwatch for the Flamestorm thing, and so the the thing is, on this, they're on an objective that is my Combi Lieutenant objective, and so I reroll failed ones to wound. I roll 18 hits with the stupid Flamestorm cannons on the fiends, and I actually rolled a little bit poorly, and he rolled really well, and yet I killed all but one fiend. And actually, he had to roll pretty hot for this fiend to even live. He had to roll an invuln save on my multi-melta that would have killed him probably. And then I think I got him down to like 1 wound, and the Combi Lieutenant could have finished him off, and he rolled a couple more saves and survived. And then the Combi Lieutenant, of course, survived because he's only taking 1 wound. He's taking, yeah, 1 wound. And so crazy. Combi Lieutenant lived somehow. Just really bizarre. And kind of a disaster turn for Naj, honestly. Because all he's really done is killed my Impulsor. And so I've got an Impulsor here that's on 1. Failed its battle shock test, by the way. And Combi Lieutenant is like, he passed his battle shock, I believe. Oh, and actually, the crazy thing was the way he pulled his models. My Combi Lieutenant, I spent 1 to heroic to keep him from. I didn't even have to take my battle shock because I spent 1 CP on it. Because his fiend that he took off wasn't even on the objective, and so my Combi Lieutenant actually scored for me. I scored a 13 on turn 2, which was so weird, you know. And he didn't want to move, like have a different guy taken off. He was just like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Oops. And remember, this is just his 4th game total with Emperor's Children, and with this detachment. So, there's going to be a few issues trying to learn everything. So anyways, I've got a lot of stuff to deal with though, right? So we've got Noise Marines here, and they're ready to gun me down and just overwhelm me. The Demonettes and Deep Struck here. He's got Lucius the Eternal over here somewhere. He's got the Sorcerer, but then the biggest thing, he's got Fiends here. He's got 1 Fiend here, which we still have to deal with. He's got all the Infractors, and I've got to deal with like all of it. It's all. So over on his expansion objective side, I decided to just stay in my Impulsor. I failed my battle shock test, so if I fall back, I can't then disembark from the vehicle. So I could disembark here, but if I disembark, then the Noise Marines are going to overwatch and kill most of the Infernus. And so I decided he doesn't have no prisoners. He doesn't have there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't have, or that don't reward him for killing my Impulsor on his turn. So I'm like, okay, it's going to kill my Impulsor with the Mauler Fiend. There's almost nothing to do about it. But what we can do is maybe kill the Noise Marines in return. And you can see he's got his Lord Cacophonist in the front, so I don't have to worry about not getting line of sight to him and stuff. And so on my turn, I'm like, all right, we gotta just go. Like, it was his go turn, now it's my go turn. So put all the moment on these Noise Marines, and between the Infernus here, I think the Predator killed almost all of them by himself just because of the AP2 against infantry, and he doesn't get cover or anything because he's just wide open. And then the Impulsor shot the rest of them. I think the Infernus actually ended up killing the Lord Cacophonist, or maybe it was vice versa, who knows. I mean, the Infernus are wounding on 2s because of the moment on those guys, and they're strength 6 versus tough 5 on the Noise Marines. So AP1 ignores cover. Just pretty ludicrous. The Incursors came over and they got onto the objective. They managed to kill the Fiend over there. Up top here, the Infractors, so you always want to look at where's the Lord located on these big units, because you want everything you have to be in line of sight to the Lord, and I think his Lord was like right here. So I was like, okay, everything's got range, everything can see it. So the Land Raider just kind of backed up. You can see the Eradicators got out, so they could see the Fiends. The Blade Guard got out right here, so they could charge the Fiends. And so the Land Raider goes first, kills almost all the Infractors on his own. The Predator cleans them up, and then bunch of multi-melta shots over here, and from the Eradicators, kill a few fiends, and then the Blade Guard charge, reroll ones to hit, give them Crucible Battle for +1 to wound, and all the fiends are gone. So just wiped them all out. Everything's gone. Though my Impulsor did die to the Mauler Fiend, and that was it though. It's pretty good. Pretty good turn, actually, all things considered. And so on his turn, he ended up he didn't do too much. So he had killed my Impulsor. The Mauler Fiend comes over here, charges the Predator, and I think he tank shocked it actually, and that's where it took 1 wound from that. And then I put Armor of Contempt on the Predator, so the Mauler Fiend is only AP2, and so it goes. I think he whiffed a little bit. I think he got like 3 wounds through, which I don't think is actually that. I think it's below average, but not too bad. And so I had to roll 3 saves, and I had to just roll. I rolled 3 4-ups, and the Predator was fine. And just kind of crap luck for that guy. Another Mauler Fiend came in, tried to charge. I forget if it was either the Predator or Vulkan Squad. One way or another, failed its charge, and he tried to re-roll it, CP re-roll the charge, and it failed again, which sucks. The Sorcerer didn't quite manage to kill all the Incursors, and so I was able to hold this objective again for another 13, which was just kind of bonkers, actually. And Lucius just kind of sat there. I don't know if he forgot about him or if he was trying to screen or something. I thought Lucius was going to come down here and try to kill my Blade Guard, which I was actually fine with. If he wanted to come there, then I thought the Land Raider could probably just roast him, frankly, the next turn. But on my own turn, oh yeah, so that's the next game. So on my own turn, I think I had my remaining Eradicators come in over here, and maybe my Speeder as well, and we just cooked the the Mauler Fiend. Oh yeah, so the Infernus that were here, he brought in his Noise Marines to delete him, which I was kind of thinking he would. He might do that, or he might take out his Tormentors to try to charge me or something. But if he did that, then I was going to Overwatch him, and his Tormentors were probably going to be a pretty ragged bunch by the time they got there. And so the Noise Marines came in right outside of Burn a Nation range, which is probably wise, and wiped them out. But then it's like, what are they going to do if they're right there? I was kind of hoping they would be there. That's why I put the Infernus where they were. So the Noise Marines could come in here from reserves. And then that's turn 3. On turn 4, they'll have to move to like right here. Then turn 5, maybe they can do something, but they're kind of just out of the game, killing a squad that doesn't really mean anything to anyone. So I was fine with the Infernus dying there. I did rapid ingress my Infernus up here so that they could, and they did, advance and just got onto this objective. The Demonettes were on here, but there weren't enough of them to hold it. He was trying to screen, so we only had a few of them on there, and Infernus are 2 OC, so they're able to get on there. So blow up the Mauler Fiend between the Predator and the Eradicators here, and I think the Speeder also came in. This Mauler Fiend, I think the Land Raider drove back over here with the Predator was just able to torch these 2 guys. And at that point, I think maybe I even killed his Sorcerer this turn. And he doesn't have that much left. I think the Predator actually had some. I think the Eradicators killed the Mauler Fiend right away, and so the Predator actually killed a bunch of his Noise Marines. And I mean, we just kind of talked through the rest of it because there wasn't much left. The Infernus Marines probably would have died to the Demonettes and Lucius, but then Lucius would have been gone for the rest of the game. And I did stop him. He only got a 3 here. I ended up getting a 15 on my last 2 turns, so I got a 13, 13, 15, 15 on primary, which is overkill. You can't score. I could only score a total of 50, but it was still kind of nice. And that was basically it. I mean, pretty good game for our boys in green, and good game by Naj. He was a good sport, and you know, like I said, he's only been playing this army Just a very short time. He painted the whole army in 1 week, which is just crazy. But it's fun to play against a totally new detachment. I had never played against these guys. I think if Lucius had been a little bit more aggressive, it might have been tough. Also, if he hadn't moved his guys, like I know he wanted to kill the lieutenant really bad, but that let my Land Raider just torch him, which was pretty bad for the fiends. If I had to kill the fiends and more fiends and the infractors all in one turn, I kind of don't think I could have done it. Maybe. I guess I would have brought in more reserves. I might have been able to kill him. I don't think I would have been nearly as dominant. Maybe. I don't know. I think that I would have had to give up on the dream of killing these guys, like the Noise Marines, and instead have the Predator like come over here and shoot fiends or something like that. Maybe the result is the same. I think as it was though, I was able to just piecemeal him a little too much, and I got the result that I kind of needed. So, anyways, the dream is still alive to maybe go 5-1 this time, but it's gonna be a pretty tricky transition here. Gonna be a pretty tricky next 2 games for sure. 2 very close combat oriented lists, I'll just say that. And that was that. Yeah, 2 games left. We're still kind of in the hunt. 3-1. Maybe I can get 5-1. Who knows? That's the goal at this point. Started off with a little disappointment in the first part, but that so far so good. Let's see how we do it in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that if you didn't hear it from me, it's probably heresy. Take care, folks.